So for the sky, I'm going to use my Hake brush and a large mop brush. You can see that, squirrel mop size 10. And this is just 1 inch Hake. So you got this nice big brush so that I can get the sky done quite quickly. So it's not going to be a long video. I'm just going to show you my perfect colour combination, what I like to use for the sky, and I'll show you as much as I can of the paint, the palette I'm using. You can see using my tray again, and I've not pre-wet the paper. It's nice to do that sometimes, but sometimes it's nice just to go in and do this as well. So using the yellow ochre, I really do enjoy using yellow ochre in the sky, and just getting some clean water and blending, just bringing that colour down a little bit, spreading the colour, pushing that around, just manipulating some of the pigment. And so there's the yellow ochre. In fact, I'm going to bring that a bit further down, a little bit more water in the brush. I can see a little bit of red in the brush. I didn't quite wash it. I just rinsed it then, and I don't think I got all the colour out of it, but not to worry, I'm not too fussed about that. So there's the first colour, yellow ochre, and now I just want to grab some blue. So it's French ultramarine, and there's a little bit of grey there as well, some Paynes grey. So I'll get a nice little mix of that. And you can see, not painting anything too detailed, just going in and just moving this pigment around a little bit. You can see how nice it is, obviously wet and wet, the wet pigment on the wet paper, the surface of the paper. So it's really nice to do these skies. So if you are struggling, I do find that the sky is probably one of the most important things that you may paint in your landscape paintings. So I think once you get the sky right, it seems to help the overall composition you're painting. So that's why I think it's important to get a nice sky when you're painting. Once that's done, then and you've got it to you're satisfied with the sky, it does create this really nice backdrop for your painting. Just blending those colours a little bit more. So it is nice to use this yellow ochre and blue, and obviously the other colour that I do like is Paynes grey. Just grabbing a little bit more of that Paynes grey, so I want a little bit of dark in the sky. So you got all these things going on, and you can see because the paint is still wet, you got the pigment travels, it moves and blends and have these really nice things happen. And I really like just creating these really nice dramatic skies. Now you can add plenty of water to this stage if you want some. Obviously this depends as well on the angle of your paper, but if you want some cloud coming down, almost like rain clouds, then just add more water while it's still wet and just let that come down. You can Also, one of the things I do like to do is just manipulate the paint, so you can tilt your board, you can see the movement now coming down the paper, which I quite like. In fact, I like it to come down at a bit of an angle as well sometimes. So let me adjust the camera so you don't get it coming straight down, but at a little angle. That's quite nice to do. So I'm just going to give that a few minutes to keep traveling. Obviously, the more water you have on the paper, the more it travels, the more of these sort of effects you get. And the paint just sort of moves within where the paper's wet. So you got to think of it like that. The pigments, the water's where the pigment travels, and so wherever you've got water, the pigment will rush towards the water, and where it's dry, then the pigment does stop where it's dry. So I've used French ultramarine, yellow ochre, and I'm just tapping in a little bit of alizarine crimson into that blue. So I want a little bit of this purple colour, quite nice in the sky. So purple, just to add some interest. And you can see that really nice effect. And as a rule, I don't tend to spend much time with the sky area, because I think the more you think about it and the more you paint with the sky, you sort of lose that looseness, that movement. And so I'm mindful of that as I paint. But yeah, just move quick, and when you come down with your sky, obviously when you come down to the horizon line, or more towards the horizon line, you get these clouds you get these longer clouds, so that's good to add distance in your sky. So obviously the top of the paper, you want these big sort of bigger clouds, and then as you come down the paper, you get these longer cloud formations, and that gives a nice distance to your scene. So it's always good as well, if you do want to lift out some clouds, some lighter areas for your clouds, then it's good to have some tissue or something to blot out. You can actually use your brush again, just a clean damp brush, or even dry you could use actually, just to tap out just some of these little white areas. You can see just gives a really nice effect. And also, one of the things that you want to do with your sky, you want a lot of soft. You can have soft and hard edges, so you get this nice little blend. It's a nice soft scene. But that's pretty much it. They're my colours. They're the colours that I go to for a nice sky. You got the yellow ochre, followed by some French ultramarine, but you can use different blues in the sky, and then some Paynes grey as well mixed in with the blue, and also a touch of the alizarin crimson or any other red, just to give that little purple sort of colour. I'm just going to add a little bit. See, this is where I don't really like to add. My pigment's been on the paper now for a little while, and when you go in like this, you're in danger of those cauliflowers happening. But it is still quite wet. It's wet enough to get away with this, but obviously that's something you'd want to be mindful of. And just just a little bit of detail. This is where it's, you don't want to be doing too much after you've got the wash down. I'm gonna just take out a little bit of that dark. And also remember that the paint does dry substantially lighter than when you put it down, so you don't have to worry too much. But I think that's going to do for this one. Just a quick demo really, just to show you how to get these really nice skies. Something obviously once you get this, it creates a nice backdrop for your paintings, and so it's just something quite simple, quite easy, and once you get the sky right, it does offer more of a chance to get a successful painting with the rest of the scene. You can use your finger just to create some little details. But that's it. I hope you like it. Just a quick, simple sky using the colours that my go-to colours. Perfect for the sky. Well, I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to receive your feedback. If you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And that's it for this one. Hopefully you like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.